So I was teaching a class on modeling different abilities recently, and there was there was a woman in the class who shared that she was really good at um, knowing what she wanted and what she needed and getting her needs met. Excuse me, in the moment. And everyone kind of perked up and thought that was a really cool idea. And so I was able to sit in with her group when they were unpacking how she does this. And there were a couple of pieces to this that I thought were really interesting. The first thing was that she would really check in with herself on a regular basis, and she would pause and kind of ask herself, like, what am I needing or wanting, or what am I feeling in this moment? And I'll contrast that, for many people, we might be going through our day or our week or even a month, and then notice that something is really off kilter, and then we may not know what it is. So it's, like, all of a sudden you just feel really out of sorts, and then you might stop and say, why am I out of sorts? But what she did was she would check in almost moment to moment, or certainly a couple times a day, and she would sort of just sort of slow down and say, okay, what am I experiencing in this moment, and what am I needing? And one thing that she found out was that a lot of times it was just, she had to attend to her body in a certain way. She would notice that she was dehydrated and she needed water, or she might notice that she was tired and she might need a quick nap, or she might need to reschedule her day so that she wasn't tired at that moment. Or she might be hungry, or she might need, some energy from food. So a lot of it was that way. And then also, certainly from time to time, she would notice emotional things. But the main reason that I wanted to bring this up is that it was the timing of her checking in that was so useful. And I found it interesting because a lot of times when I'm doing a meditation here, I'll say, like, let's take a moment and check in and do an inventory with how we're doing. And certainly doing that once a day is great. And over time, you may notice trends. You may notice that, oh, I'm in this particular state, and the setup was something that happened before, or the setup for my state was something I was anticipating. And the fact that she did this a little bit more frequently allowed her to get really good at sort of quickly getting in touch with what was needed, or get in touch with it, what the need was, and then beginning to sort of brainstorm about what might take care of that in this moment or sometime in the near future. And she said after a while, she got so good at this that, kind of in the moment, she could sort of check in, okay, this is what's going on. And it's almost like she has this internal checklist now. And she said that this came about because she said almost 10 years ago, she was online and she saw a checklist, like somebody, I forget what the checklist was called, but it was like, if you're feeling out of sorts, check in with these first. And it was like, are you hydrated? Did you get enough sleep? Did you get enough to eat? And how's your emotional well-being? And so initially she worked off this list. Over time, she internalized the list. She just knew it. And she added a few elements that made sense for her, things that would come up from time to time. She might notice, okay, I'm going into overwhelm, and so I need to slow down and kind of break down my to-do list. And she said that over time, the more you do this, you get better and better at sort of self-diagnosing and being able to identify what's needed in that moment so that you can address it. So at this point, it's almost like she just does this automatically. It's not like she has to like set an alarm and do it. But I would recommend in the beginning, even set a reminder a couple times throughout the day and check in with yourself and start to build that cognitive skill or flow to get used to checking in and then identifying what's needed and giving yourself what's needed. So I hope you enjoy that and you build that skill in for yourself.